Hey everyone, it is Kevin Henry, editor-in-chief for drbicuspid.com. Thank you so much for joining us today for another of our drbicuspid.com podcast series, and I'm thrilled today to be joined by Sonia Williams, Senior Vice President and General Manager of the Dental Arm of Synchrony. Hi, Sonia. How are you?
Hi, thank you for allowing me to join you today. I'm super excited about the conversation.
I'm glad to have you on. It's good to see you again. And before we get started, just tell our audience a little bit about you.
Sure, I've been with Synchrony for almost 15 years. I am the Senior Vice President and General Manager of Dental for CareCredit. I have worked in the industry for about 15 or so years. A lot of my background is specifically in marketing, but I am a growth driver. So one of the big things I love about working in the dental space is that there's so much opportunity for growth that I am eager to see where the industry is going to go and how I can help grow it. So thank you for allowing me to join you today.
Hey, again, glad to have you on, and we're talking about growth. So let's talk about some opportunities that you're seeing out there in the dental industry today, or maybe some challenges as well.
Yeah, I think one of the big things, first, let me just take a step back and just kind of give you a little bit of color around who Synchrony is and some of the stuff we're doing at CareCredit, and then that'll give you a little bit of a background of where I see the dental industry going. Specifically around, one of the big things that we do here at Synchrony is we've obviously been around for over 90 years. We financed about 187 billion loans since inception for the last 90 years. CareCredit's been around for 35 years. We're integrated into 90% of practice management software solutions. We basically have about 2.4 million cardholders that apply for credit in the last year, and about 13 million cardholders that are currently active that use the card. So when you think about all that from a CareCredit perspective, and knowing that the confidence that we have in our cardholders, which we've gotten about 80% confidence rate with our card, tells us that we know that we're a trusted source, and we know that we are here for the long haul. But what I will tell you is that based off of the industry and where I see things going by 2030, I think I read a study and it said about $186 billion of unmet needs are going to come by 2030. When you think about the dental space, which tells me that consumers are still concerned and want to get the care that they need, but also understand that the insurance costs are not changing. They're actually not all things are covered. So they care about the care that they need and want, but they also know that there's a gap in regards to how they get the care that they need so much. For me, the opportunity is there in the sense of providing dental practices the ability to understand that the needs are there, but also to understand that there's tools and technology that they can definitely leverage as consumers and patients really want to connect their oral care with their healthcare. So to me, it's all about really giving dentists the ability to understand what we do and how we use CareCredit as a tool, not as a substitute for insurance, but more as a tool to help patients get the care that they need.
So, what are the fair financing principles and why were they launched?
Yeah, so we launched the fair financing principles to set a new standard for clarity and transparency for our consumers, and to also educate consumers around financing and the options that they have. So really what we're trying to do is it's not a substitute for insurance, but our ability to make sure that consumers understand what deferred interest promotions are, fixed APR rates are, and what that means, and how do they understand our statements. So really it was a mission for us to make sure that we're creating transparency, education, and clarity, but also it gives us the ability for consumers to understand, like when they do go to a dentist's office, what the procedure costs are going to be. So we've linked with dentists across the United States, the top 3 cities in every single state, and we've asked them to provide us with basically about 700 procedures that'll give the consumer visibility to cost. So when they go into a dentist's office, they have a good understanding of what their insurance are, what their insurance is going to cover, but also what their out-of-pocket expenses are. So it gives them the ability to kind of plan and budget their expenses so that they know that they're walking in with the right solution.
So I know that there's a web page devoted to the fair financing principles. What
Yes.
are some of the resources available on that page, and how does it relate to some of the current challenges in the dental industry right now?
Yeah, it's great question. So it's www.carecredit.com/FFP, and I'm sure you'll link it somewhere
It's going to be in
on
the
the
show
site for
notes.
you.
Really easy to find. Absolutely.
Thank you. But some of the tools include like a statement, a sample of a statement so that a consumer can really get clarity around what the APR says, some of the messaging around how much you have to pay each month so that you're not getting interest charged to you. It also provides you with our procedure calculator, which essentially is the procedure will basically tell the patient how much they're paying for a specific procedure that they're having. It provides the consumer with visibility to how APRs work. So really, it's an educational landing page that provides consumers what they're getting into. And it also provides the consumer the ability to pay their dentist right there at the site. So lots of tools, lots of education, lots of things related to how to use our product in a way that benefits not just the consumer, but also the provider. Because also the thing that we know about the industry is, and I'll say this all day long, is a lot of practices are struggling with, increased amount of costs going up, and insurance is not covering everything as they were 5 years ago. So they're concerned around getting case acceptance. And one of the big things that we want to obviously help with is ensuring that patients actually get the care that they need. So we also know that a lot of these patients are really, really connecting oral care and health care. And what we know is patients are even more and more concerned these days around how are they going to get the access to the care that they need. So to me, this tool gives them trust and confidence that, what they're getting into before they actually apply for credit.
So, how can dental providers help their patients pursue care when out of pocket expenses and personal financial wellness are so top of mind right now?
Yeah, so there's a couple of great examples inside the Fair Lending Principles website that we have. But a great example is Dr. Brian Harris. He's one of our advocates that actually uses our product. And he actually has certified his team on our product. So one of the things that before anyone can offer our products, they actually have to go through a certification, and that certification has to get renewed every 2 years. So we want to make sure that the practices understand what they're providing to patients, but we also want to make sure that the patients have a clear understanding of the products themselves. So Dr. Harris has educated his team. He's educated his team around a treatment plan. So when a patient comes in and they understand what's being covered by insurance and what's not covered by insurance, he's actually able to use the tool to get the acceptance and the treatment plan and the care that the patient needs. So he uses the tool to help patients actually get the care that they need. That's just one of many examples that we have on our site of practices that use our tools.
So, let's talk about the people that maybe don't qualify for care credit. Are there other solutions available that dental practices, I should say, could connect them with for financing support?
Yeah, so one of the big things that I absolutely love about where technology is going in the dental space is multi-source financing. So when you think about multi-source financing, the ability for a consumer to obviously get the care that they need, we work with multiple lenders. So if they don't qualify for our products, we actually waterfall them into another solution with another provider. So it gives them the ability to have the confidence in ensuring that they get the care that they need, even with the credit score that we may not necessarily approve, but we have a second source that is able to give them the care that they need. So waterfall solution is absolutely critical, and we call that multi-source financing for those who don't know what a waterfall is.
Again, we're on today with Sonia Williams, who's the Senior Vice President and General Manager for the Dental Arm of Synchrony. And Sonia had a question for you about how does CareCredit help prepare dental practices and their team members for implementing these solutions to help support those patients?
Yeah, I think it's critical that everyone understand we are a bank. And so one of the things that we make sure that our practices do is take the certification. You have to be certified with our products in order for you to actually offer it as a service to your patients. And we certify individuals before they actually can do any type of transaction. And again, have to be recertified every 2 years. So someone in your office has to go through our training process to understand our products and our solutions and then get recertified every 2 years.
All right, here's a big one for you. We know there's a lot of other financing companies that are out there. What differentiates CareCredit from them?
So I'm very, very biased, obviously, but we've been around for 35 years. We have 12.4 million cardholders. We are in 80% of dental offices today. We're in 90% of software management systems across the industry. Our card could be used in more than one place and more than one time. And we actually know that a patient that opens up a card with us uses that card at least two more times in that 12-month period. So the benefit that you have with us is that we're a trusted source. We know that 80% of our cardholders are overly excited about our product. They use our product more than once. And we are, again, I'll just say we're 35 years and counting and continue to drive change, innovation, and access to care to patients that need it.
And I must admit, I may be a little biased as well because CareCredit has certainly helped my mom to get some of the dental care that she needed and couldn't afford at the time. So I'm very thankful for that. Sonia, it's been a pleasure, as always, to see you and to talk to you. And I'm just curious, as we wrap up this talk about the fair financing principles, is there anything that you want to share with the audience before we wrap up?
One thing I will share is one of the reasons why I came into this space, in the dental space, is all about really for me, as I think about my career and my tenure here at Synchrony, is all about purpose. And I think one of the things that I really wanted to reinforce with you and the passion that we have here at CareCredit is all around purpose and trust and credibility. And one of the things we all know, you just shared a story about your mom having access to care. I know as a single parent, as a single mom, I had two sons who both needed braces. Actually, before I even worked for CareCredit, even knew about CareCredit, I actually applied for CareCredit and got the braces that they need. So to me, this is purposeful work. This isn't work where I think about, okay, how am I going to get another consumer to use the card? No, I want to be able to provide consumers and patients with the care that they need and know that they have access to options outside of insurance if insurance isn't available. So to me, this is purposeful work. This is work where there's huge opportunities for patients to get the care that they need, and I know that practices care about that. And I want to be a tool that they can leverage and use so that they're giving the patients that actually, want to have a great smile, want to be able to be healthy, have that ability to do that. So thank you.
Absolutely. No, glad to have you on. And just a reminder that we're going to have the link so you can learn more about the fair financing principles from Synchrony. It's going to be in the show notes, real easy for you to click on and find. Or if you're watching this on drbycuspid.com, guess what? It's in the article. So again, an easy click for you. So Sonia, again, thank you so much. Great to see you.
Thank you. You too.
And thanks to all of you for listening to this episode of the drbycuspid.com podcast. It's important as we look at 2026 for you to know what options are available for your patients, as well as how you can help direct them toward the things that they need. Until next time, it's Kevin Henry, Editor-in-Chief for Dr. Bicuspid, signing off, and as always, wishing you nothing but success ahead.